Hey there, I am Brooke. Welcome to my Mountain Dew can. If you're new here, subscribe, because you get all this. It is 85 degrees in this room, and I have to turn my fan off so that you can hear me. I might melt. Sorry in advance. Today we are doing another Am I the Asshole? Super excited. These are my favorite. Ready to go. We are starting off strong. Am I the asshole for not helping my mother while her husband battles cancer and she's dealing with her own health problems? It's gotta be misleading, right? I, 19 female, was asked by my mother to help out with her stepkids, who she considers her kids, while her husband undergoes cancer treatments and she's trying to get on top of her own health, which has been impacted after she was told she's got long COVID. The history between us is not the brightest, and I'd cut her off when I moved out over a year ago. But she tracked me down and asked for my help, saying she needs me. I told her I wasn't going to help her, and it's not going over well. I've had some of my mother's family tell me I'm behaving like a child and should be there for my family. I disagree, and I have no desire to help any of them, but I want to know what others think, so here I am. My dad died when I was 5 years old. My mother didn't date anyone until she met her husband when I was 10. He was a recent widower of like 3 months, and his kids were both under 2. My mother decided she was going to be their mother and that we were all going to be a family. But her focus after that point was more on them than me. She often used the excuse that they were little and needed more, but the disparity was felt by me from pretty much day one of living together. We no longer went to the beach near where I grew up on my dad's anniversary and wrote our names in the sand like we had done before that. She actually tried to instead do it with all of our names on her wedding anniversary and said it was even better tradition, which I disagreed with. If her husband was working, she would tell me us time needed to be with us and her stepkids, or we would need to cancel for that month. Yet she would always make sure to put one down for a nap and cuddle with the other, or read to one of them, or take them separately for ice cream. She got them into extracurriculars young and showed up to every little event, but not so much for mine. She sent her husband to mine a few times. She'd also tell me to ask him for some quality time instead of her. She refused to cook my favorite meal for my birthday after she got married because her stepkids couldn't eat it, but I had to eat their favorite meal for theirs. I was supposed to have a procedure done for endometriosis diagnosed at 14, but she kept calling it off because her oldest stepkid was getting braces and that took priority. On my 18th birthday, I packed up all of my stuff and she asked where the hell I was going. I told her I was leaving since it was clear I'd made less of a priority by her once she became a stepmom. She told me that wasn't true, but that she wanted me to turn to her husband more. I told her I had never wanted him. I wanted her, my mom. That I wasn't going to replace my dad just because she found someone she wanted to marry. She said that part of being the oldest is accepting that you are not the priority anymore. I told her that I didn't accept that, and plenty of people prioritized all of their kids. We haven't spoken like actual talking since all of her requests were done via DMs. I say you're not the asshole. I don't think, maybe they'll think you're the asshole. I don't think you're the asshole. Let's see OP. I always forget that. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I have decided not to help my mother with her stepkids and just general stuff while she's dealing with long COVID and her husband is undergoing cancer treatments. I might be wrong for this because I might have an unreasonable anger over the past and feeling like she chose them over me. If that's true, not helping during this time could be a real asshole move, especially for family. Okay, that's a valid point, but I don't think you're the asshole still. I think she should have been there for you. Comments. So you moved out with no contact and she tracked you down because she needs help with her stepkids? Really? So not the asshole. Stay away. She just wants to use you. I agree. On the other hand, at least OP didn't have to waste any time wondering if she'd really changed only to be disappointed. As someone with a shitty mother, the wondering and the hope are the worst. It's an incredibly small miracle of a chance that she'll ever change. So when the act all contrite and like they're trying but then get comfortable and snap back to the bullshit, it hurts more than it did when you weren't talking. Yeah. So Reddit has deemed you not the asshole, as it should be. Next one. Am I the asshole for asking my teenage son to babysit my younger kids when he already had other plans? I need to back up so I can see. I'm 41 male, married to 39 female. We have 3 kids together, 7 male, he is autistic, and twin 2-year-old girls. I also have a son, 17 male, from my first marriage. His mother and I share custody. I'm reading great. My wife is currently in the hospital, nothing too serious, and I'm working 4 hours in the office and the rest from home. Last week, my wife went to the hospital, and my son was staying with my ex that week, so I got a nanny for the kids for the 4 hours a day I have to work in the office. The nanny didn't work out. She just came for 1 day. My 7-year-old son is very particular about his needs and wants and is a difficult kid to take care of. The twin toddlers are obviously a lot of work. My 17-year-old son watches his younger siblings a lot when he's at our house. He likes it. The kids adore him, and when he is watching them alone, so wife and I can go out for a date night or something, I always pay him $50 an hour, which is what a nanny gets for 3 kids, like mine per hour. What? Bro, I'll come babysit your kids. What the hell? That's a lot of money. Holy shit. Sorry, wow. I called my son last week asking him to come babysit the kids for the remaining 3 days of the week. Then I'd get some leave and stay home myself. He told me he already had plans to go to the beach with his friends and taking a road trip with them. I told him if he can come for those 4 hours for 3 days, I'll pay him $100 an hour instead of the usual $50. And if he can reschedule his plans for just a few days to next week, he'll have a lot more money to spend on his vacation. He then agreed and was really happy about our deal. His mother called me later furious, saying that I am parentifying our son, that I should let him have a life, and that it's not his fault I had more kids I can't manage. Am I the asshole for asking my son to babysit? No. No, you're not. That's crazy. First of all, you didn't even ask him for a favor. You offered him a job. And it sounds like he negotiated a higher rate of pay, and you accepted that, and then he accepted your deal. He's 17. Why is she... I don't know. I say not the asshole. Let's see what the OP has to say. OP said I might be the asshole because my son had plans with his friends and I may have pressured him into coming to babysit because I had too much on my plate. I mean, 3 small kids are a lot for anybody. But, I mean, if he likes it and you're paying him this obscene amount of money. Might she be jealous of the amount of money that you're paying him? Because I would be. That's crazy. I'd be wondering why you didn't ask me. Let's see what the comments say. I normally don't agree with older kids having to watch their siblings, but in the situation, I'm going with not the asshole because there was an emergency, wife in the hospital, you tried to find outside care and that didn't work. You were paying him and he agreed to do it. Now, if he said no after the pay discussion and you forced or threatened to ground him, that would be a different story. That's exactly what I was saying. I wholeheartedly agree. OP's ex really needs to look up parentification. No one who parentifies their child gives them $600 for 12 hours of work. They would expect them to look after their kids 12 hours a day for free and wouldn't care if it affected schoolwork or social life. They wouldn't say, can you do this? They'd say, this is what you are doing and you have no choice. Agree. $100 an hour for 4 hours a day times 3 days, $1,200 for 3 days. As someone who teaches special needs kids, I would gladly take this job and I make so much less. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Obviously, Reddit has deemed them not the asshole. Oh, look at this comment. She's probably jealous he's getting so much money. See, that's what I was saying. Is it just chicks that think like that? I don't know. Maybe. But as a chick, I think another chick might be jealous of that. That's just my opinion and this person's opinion. We agree. And 73 other people agreed with them too. So we think she wants that money. Am I the asshole for refusing to change the family therapist we see like my wife wants? I mean, why does she want to change it? I guess we'll see. My wife and I have been married for 2 years. I am the father of an 8-year-old son, and she is the mother of a 6-year-old daughter. My wife passed away 2 years before I remarried. She had been sick for most of our son's life, and I always knew the day would come when I would lose her. I didn't try to rush into another marriage, but I found someone who helped make me happy again, and someone who knew the struggles of being a single parent. She was also good with my son, and I saw her being a good mom to her daughter. My son had voiced things when my wife and I got engaged about not wanting her to replace mommy and other terms like that. I asked him why he thought that would happen, and he brought up a friend of his at school. We spoke about it. He started seeing a therapist, and he realized my getting married again was not replacing anyone. It was adding more people to our family, but that it could look like many different things. My wife was aware of all of this and never voiced any concerns. After we got married, the topic of adopting each other's children came up. My stepdaughter is all for the idea and was so excited by the idea of me being her dad and my son being her brother. My son was not for it though. He said he didn't want to be adopted. My wife and I discussed things. We both had concerns about the impact on our family, and me, the expectations would lead to a lot of drama in our lives, so we decided family therapy could be beneficial. I was proven right because the expectations we all had were different. My wife wanted to be mom to my son and for me to be dad to her daughter. I expected to follow the kids' leads with the relationships and was more happy to respect what each child wanted. My stepdaughter wants a dad and a brother. My son doesn't want a new mom and wants to be able to use step and not have the family like his friend has. The therapist over the months has said that we can't all get what we want, but the kids should be put first and nothing should be rushed or forced. She suggested I could adopt my stepdaughter and my wife should just try work on building a relationship with my son. My wife doesn't believe the therapist is working with the best interest of our family and wants to change. I worry she just wants a therapist who will say my son doesn't know what is best for him and to go ahead with the adoption. She denies this, but she doesn't say exactly what isn't working with our current therapist, so I said no. She's unhappy with this. She told her mom, who told me I should be willing to change when my wife doesn't feel like our therapist is working out. My wife said I am invalidating her through this whole process and she doesn't understand why. Am I the asshole? No, you are not. 100% agree. The kids should always come first. Always. And his fears are validated, you know? Calling another woman mom is disrespectful to the mom that he loved and lost. I don't think that that should be forced at all. I do think that, you know, if you are comfortable adopting her daughter, that's cool. But with her not willing to respect your son in this way, how long is that relationship really going to last? Are you willing to be dad to her forever, even if you guys aren't together anymore? Because I think that is a very important question. Let's see what the OP offered as an explanation why they think they might be the asshole. I have said no to changing the family therapist my family sees because I have concerns about the reason my wife wants to do this. I know my wife feels like she's losing in this whole process because she is not getting her ideal outcome, and I don't want to push for her to get what she wants regarding my son. So maybe my refusal to look for a new therapist is adding to all of this. I keep going around and around in my head, and it all feels just a little too much. You're not the asshole. Comments. Not the asshole. Your wife needs to back off of this adoption shit with your son. He's given a valid reason why he doesn't want it. And she doesn't care what he wants. She just wants it her way. The therapist isn't the problem. She wants a different one that'll try to get your son to go along with her. That's such an asshole move on her part. She can pick any therapist she wants, but I see no reason to yank the entire group of you out of therapy with someone you've already grown comfortable talking to just to appease her. She's being ridiculous. Yes, absolutely ridiculous. Next comment, OP, I'm sure with a little effort, you can find a ton of examples on here that you can show to your wife. Am I the Asshole is full of stories of blended families that didn't work because one of the kids' emotions and needs were ignored. Maybe your wife should see what the future holds for her in the words of an older version of your child. There are even examples of kids who were forced into adoptions. You are not the asshole, but you would be if you marginalize your child by caving to your wife's emotions. Yes. Not the asshole. I would point out to her that if the family went before a judge to finalize your wife adopting your son, the judge would ask if your son was willing. He has made it clear the answer would be no. Your wife needs to back down. Ooh, there's a therapist comment. Therapist here, this is probably the best suggestion. An individual therapist just for your wife may tell her the same thing she doesn't want to hear, but that won't necessarily be what your wife says. She may say that her new therapist agrees with her and force the issue. A couples therapist allows your wife to see that multiple professionals hold the same view, that she needs to do what is best for the kids and have the transparency of seeing that too. Yes, all of that. Obviously, Reddit has deemed you not the asshole. A lot of parenting stuff today. You want to do one more? I have no idea how long this video is. We're going to do one more. This title is calling to me. I'm sorry. Am I the asshole for calling my daughter worthless and prioritizing my wife over her? Me, 47 male, wife 47 female, and I have 3 kids. A 27 female, a 20 female, and a 16 male. Our oldest one used to be the best kid. At 17, she met her longtime ex. She got married to him 4 years ago, but they got divorced after 6 months because she caught him cheating. We took her in, even paid for her therapy for years after that. She has a very good, stable job and makes more than what I and her mom make. We don't expect her to pay rent, but she doesn't contribute at all to our household. She has 2 dogs, and she barely even pets them or acknowledges them, and the dogs have a bigger bond with my wife and I, and our 2 younger kids than their actual owner. She recently stopped paying her own bills because money is tight, but she'd always go out to expensive clubs, spas, trips, resorts, etc., while neglecting even her own personal bills and responsibilities. For the past 4 years, she only gets involved with married men because she enjoys the fact that she gets picked over the married women, and she's of the mindset, if they were good wives, they'd be able to keep a man, and he chose me for a reason over his wife? What? Okay. Knowing she's troubled, I've always tried to be a good father to her and offer her a good support system, but my wife got done so quickly with our daughter's attitude because her behavior was affecting our younger kids. I tried to keep a balance, and while doing that, my daughter took advantage of the support I offered her to draw a conflict between my wife and I. In our 30 years of relationship, my wife and I never had major arguments and fights, but because of our daughter, those arguments happen every other day. As I tried to be a good father to her, I forgot how to be a good husband to my wife and a good father to my 2 younger kids. I again tried to find a balance and have a talk with my oldest about how I don't want to be taking sides anymore. She can live her life now that she wants, but she should stop trying to cause conflict with me and her mom. She took that personally and started verbally insulting me, saying that I'm a spineless and how I am giving up on her and I'm showing favoritism to her siblings, and while she can't get past that, she can't get over how I'm willing to put my wife's feelings above my own daughter. She called my wife her own mom, a joke of a woman who's worthless, and she'll enjoy the moment I decide to cheat on her. I can't even read this. It is appalling. I told her she's worthless and from now on she gets no sympathy from me. I gave her 1 week to pack her things and leave the house since her presence is toxic to both my wife and her siblings, and I also told her dogs will stay with us since she can't even feed her own pets properly as a grown-ass adult. I've tried to help her for many years, even paying money. I barely have so she can attend therapy, but I told her unless she's willing to help herself, we can't do much more and she's on her own now. Am I the asshole for being so harsh with her? No, you should have told her to pack her stuff and leave now. Right now. How mean? Wow. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I may be the asshole because in the attempt to defend my wife and 2 younger kids, I minimized my daughter and called her worthless, and I stopped offering her support. No. Not the asshole. Damn, that was hard to read. I wasn't the only one. She's still hurt by what happened and she's trying to be the other woman because she hasn't been chosen in her marriage. She will enjoy when you decide to cheat on your wife because she thinks that is normal and expected behavior. Not so sure therapy is working and her problem is becoming yours. You made the right decision. Yes, I agree. The daughter needs to leave. She was being disrespectful and harming everyone, including herself, by staying, and OP was totally in the right for standing up for his wife. The daughter needed to leave when she had a good career and didn't contribute anything to the household. This went on way too long, and while I don't want to say OP is an asshole, but he had certainly enabled her a bit. Yeah, that's true. That is gonna be it for this video. A lot of family stuff, a lot of family drama. Good times. It's always good times. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. If you agreed, if they were the asshole or not, say hi. Hi. And subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.